The history of ancient Egypt is shrouded in mystery and mysticism until now. Their achievements and culture amaze scientists of the modern world.
Most surprising is the unusual decoration that could be found at numerous excavations and in tombs.
The ancient Egyptian jewelry art attracts with its brightness, massiveness and luxury, the ancient masters laying in them not only beauty, but also symbols that protected from misfortunes and illnesses, and also, according to the beliefs of the ancients, extended life. This story is about what kind of jewelry the pharaohs of ancient Egypt wore and what they were intended for. In those days, jewelry was very popular among the Egyptian people. In this case, age, gender, or even social status did not matter much. Representatives of the supreme power of the pharaohs had especially many of them. These products were violated not only for the sake of beauty, they had a sacred meaning, but also protection from spirits that could harm a person, attracting diseases and sorrows in their lives to themselves. Neck necklaces were very popular in those days. They were worn by both men and women. This decoration was made only of gold, and to enhance the effect, stones were also placed in the decoration. As a rule, these were pendants of various shapes or plates. A typical representative of the neck necklace was a usek, which resembled the sun in shape and was worn as a kind of collar. Pharaohs often wore weighty useks or rewarded their distinguished subjects with them. Bracelets were no less popular in those days than necklaces, traditionally worn on the wrists and legs, and worn on the forearm. The Eye of Horus on the bracelet was considered a talisman, protecting the owner from the attacks of evil spirits and troubles in life. Women could wear anklets with bells that made a sound when walking. It is interesting that it was in ancient Egypt that wedding rings were invented. They were woven in the form of a circle identical to the moon or the sun, which was made from sedge growing on the banks of the Nile and exchanged among themselves, putting it on the ring finger. The men representing power, wore rings, seals, pectoral symbols, which were worn around the neck, had a special meaning as a protector of the heart. The Egyptians believed that the soul was there, so it had to be protected in a special way. Also in those days there were popular combs and all kinds of hair ornaments, gold belts richly decorated with stones, as well as earrings, which were often voluminous and heavy. It even deformed the earlobe. But at the same time it was not considered ugliness. The pharaohs had the concept of wearing diarrhea uraeus with a snake sitting in the middle. Of particular importance was the jewelry that was put into the tomb during burial, for example, a medallion or a ring with a scarab beetle as a symbol of resurrection in subsequent lives. Almost all ancient Egyptian jewelry was made of gold. It was the main material, and thanks to several large deposits in the state. There were many reserves, but this material was not as valued as, for example, iron or silver. Unique items were made from electrum, which resembled platinum. It was a special combination of an alloy of gold and silver, the recipe of which has remained forever lost. Also, all kinds of stones were often used in jewelry, such as garnet, amethyst, carnelian, lapis lazuli and turquoise, and a huge variety of expensive stones. They were used to make jewelry for pharaohs and higher subjects, and poor people made jewelry from beads and colored glass. All jewelry in ancient Egypt came in a rich palette of colors and a variety of materials used. This effect was achieved with the help of enamel and small jewelry techniques. Colored opaque glass. Ancient masters used for mosaic images in the form of cubes or plates. Special pastes of different shades were also popular, which were used to cover materials. Jewelry, blue, green and white colors were considered the main ones in Egyptian jewelry. Most of the decorations bore religious symbolism, although there were items that were used simply as original and expensive decorations or a convenient seal for high-ranking ministers. Ancient Egyptian jewelry often depicted divine images, hieroglyphs, animals, and magical symbols. All these symbols were not only worship of the highest deity, but also as protection from the world of evil spirits.